Okay, well, since we'll try to keep managing time here. My name is Michael Cunningham, and we're going to be joined today by, you met Adrian before from South Africa. You could be joined by Mei from, or Mary from Taiwan, and we're going to be joined in momentarily from school from St. Louis and a school from Guatemala. The last three schools are very wanting to start right away, so that's what it is. It's kind of interesting. So it's a little bit different format we had before, and I want to mention that. Excuse me. I wanted to mention that. Welcome from the World Affairs Council of Austin, and we're working with the Global Scholars Diploma Program. I think we have 206 schools right now as we speak. They're doing different programs. Now, of those 206 schools, I think we had 8 that want to try to do this as we speak. Some of them are at different points, but that's the way it is. Adrian, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself so Marina will be able to find out a little bit more about you, and then we'll go to Mary, and then we'll go to Nadia, who will be showing up here in a second, I hope.
Hi, some of you must know me by now. I'm the troublemaker from South Africa. I always make trouble, but I mean it in a positive way. I have this program, it's called the Achievement Promotion Program, Advocacy Program. We focus on achievements of our clients, our students. We focus on developing skills, expertise, experience, knowledge, and we want to package that as assets, properties, developing the students' careers as entrepreneurial enterprises. So to me, linking up with this program, it's incredibly privileged that I feel and very honored to be talking with you guys from various countries in the world, and I feel to me, it's very, very exciting and stimulating. And I've just been telling Mike that this program of his, and you involved, we're ahead of our time. The program that I've developed here is about 20 years ahead of my time. But fortunately, things are happening, and Mike, with this with this World Affairs Council program, is speeding up the progress we're making. We've just been discussing the fact that, and I've been doing research on that for a long time now, is that the cognitivity levels of people globally are not progressing. It's not keeping up with technology. And it's one of the reasons why many teachers in many schools in many countries don't understand what this is about. In South Africa specifically, and I'm not bad-mouthing anybody, but I've spoken to a lot of principals in the townships, and their perception is that, well, we'll cross the bridges when we come to it. It's necessary to develop vision and perspective about the future. And this is what this program is doing. So for South Africa, which is the worst case scenario, that I know it's not going 100% in other countries as well, but with us, it's quite, we have, like I say, room for improvement. But getting back to this program, it's a privilege for me and an honor to be involved in it.
Thank you very much, Adrian. Mary, could you introduce yourself and tell Marina a little bit about what you're doing there in Taiwan?
Hello, everyone. This is Mei from Taiwan. I have been an English language teacher and also an international education program director for over a decade. And I have been trying to get more schools involved in programs that involve a lot of international collaborations over the past decade as well. Ever since 2006, I got involved into synchronous learning through video conferencing. It has been a huge leap for us in reaching out to the world and getting students connected with their peers. And that is a very important aspect in today's society, like Mr. Meyer just said, because it is the what the students can see is the vision, because if they are not connected to their peers, if they're not seeing the world out there, then they are inside their ivory tower and they are just competing against something that they cannot visualize. So in light of this, I've been trying to get more schools in Taiwan to be involved, because in the beginning, when I started the program, I didn't even know if I was going to succeed myself, because even the Ministry of Education thought I couldn't carry out this program at the high school level, because mostly video conferencing programs were directed at the higher education at that time. But I have made a huge improvement in this aspect, and so I got schools from Taiwan, not only my school, but also other schools, more schools involved, and they saw the possibilities. So I've been working on workshops all over Taiwan, getting other schools started, because a lot of schools are still doubtful about whether their students are capable of doing this, or whether their teachers are able to handle this kind of training, either for students, getting them ready and getting their mindset all ready. So I could also share a video clip later on if there is time of the other schools involved with our program. And well, that's it about this part, because for my students, I'm sure many of you have seen their performances, like Mr. Meyer has seen them present with a couple of other countries in last month, or I think it was a month or two ago, and all through the years. And Mr. Cunningham has witnessed all the great things that students are capable of, and that some we didn't even know they were even possible of achieving. So I think this is a great opportunity for students around the world to reach out and, get each other better at learning, even from and with one another.
Thank you very much, Mary. Marina, if you want to introduce a little bit about yourself, and then we'll introduce Dr. Zorian.
Sure. Thank you once again. It's a pleasure to see you all here. And we had another meeting earlier today. So thanks once again for your invitation. My name is Marina, and I work at the Armenian Virtual College. I'm responsible for education department, and it would be good to ask Dr. Yervant Zorian to introduce himself and a little bit tell us about the Armenian Virtual College. Then I can answer the questions.
Yeah, Dr. Zorian, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us about your dream that you had back in the early 2000s.
Yes, it will be my pleasure. Thanks again for organizing this meeting and creating this opportunity to disseminate the information that we worked on for some time. I'm Yervant Zorian. I'm the founder and the president of the AGBU Armenian Virtual College. AGBU is an Armenian international global organization concentrating in the education, culture, and humanitarian affairs. It's a worldwide organization. It has many schools around the world, physical schools. But back in the early 2000s, we started looking into disseminating information via e-learning, via online means, via multimedia processes, because we had an audience well distributed, and it was hard to reach them through physical presence, face-to-face traditional schools. That's why we tried the concept of teaching Armenian language, history of Armenia, culture of Armenia, music, architecture, otherwise, and we turned those into multimedia units and started offering them back in 2009 around the world. So we opened it, and since then we had a very nice growth of audience for people who are interested in culture, interested in history. and we continue to do so. We have over 30,000 members being e-learners, we call them, that follow the program, take courses, get credits for them, and so on. Thanks a lot for Mike's suggestion to bring this to your network of schools, to the possibility of involving it with the World Affairs Council to see how we can expand it further. Mike, you are on mute.
Yeah, thank you so much. Nadia, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your school in Guatemala?
Okay, sure. I'm sorry, I'm wearing my mask, but we are here with students. We just came back. My name is Nadia Rivera, and I am the Global Education Coordinator in SEC Guatemala. We are part of an international institution with 24 schools in 16 different countries. And here in Guatemala, we are a small school with 200 students from preschool to high school. And we're very glad to join us. Thank you for making us part of this project.
Thanks a lot, Nadia, for your interest. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Glad to be here
too. She's telling you that her school's associated in different parts of the world. So her one school is also, excuse me, her one school is also okay, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. This whole thing's unstable today. Got some storms coming through. Her one school is an international association. So now we have several international schools here. They're very willing to try to start this fall to try to implement. And my suggestion was that we could try to start with the Armenian history course. And the idea is to try to get people to learn more about not only Armenia, but to try to get people actually on the international level to learn more about other countries. And I think this would be one of the best ways to start. Mary, Adrian, and I have been working together, I guess, for almost a decade on different projects. And a lot of ours were doing video conferencing. But since so much, and you can even see with Nadia, with so much COVID and e-learning has become the most important part of aspects of time. And Mary will tell you a little bit, she's staying up to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning preparing lessons, that we could really utilize programs like this now to give kids a real jump start on future education. So we're very aware, and I'm very happy to have people this like Dr. Zorian that actually invented things 20 years before they really needed them. And now when we need them, we have them thanks to his help. So this is very important to do. Now it's our job, I feel like, to listen to you guys a little bit and just give us some guidance on exactly what we need to do to help. Now, early this morning, they suggested that we all would enroll in classes. And I think Nadia's actually done that. And I've done that in the past. And I like to continue doing that in the future. But we'd like to try to start some of our kids, not on a grade level, but maybe 5 or 6, 7 kids in each school to kind of start giving them the opportunities. So Mimi, is that where you're at? Is that what best to understand?
Yes, I think that's what we had in mind last time when we were talking about this matter. And yeah, we can have like 6 or 7 or I don't know, 8 students per school. Like they have this honor to be enrolled, of course, and that would be, you know, up to the school and of course the managerial positions to decide on that. But it would be great if we can get these students on board, and even before that, we could have pre-sessions to get the students, you know, get to know each other and feel comfortable in doing this, because some students I know, they are a little bit afraid that they might not be able to catch up with everyone. They are sort of, you know, fearful that they might pull people back. You know, they want to do well, but they are a little bit intimidated. So maybe we can have them, you know, get to know each other and comfort them down and say, yeah, you know, this is what you need to do. As long as you do your best, you give it your best, I'm sure you can, you know, do your best and keep up with everyone, and you can accomplish this task. You're muted, Mike.
No, I'm sorry. I tried to mute myself. We're having all kinds of issues. Nadia, Nadia just got knocked off. Okay. We're having some, I guess we're all under the same kind of storms. We're having some tremendous squalls of rain here. Living in the United States is not necessarily always the first world in infrastructure. But Nadia's about the same place. They have an international school, and the school from St. Louis has emailed me, and they're kind of hard to get on right now, but they have an international school, and they truly want to make it international. In the United States, it's easy to slap the name international onto something, but it's not as easy to actually get the classes to become truly international. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to use Armenian Virtual College, or AGBU AVC, I get the pronunciation correctly, to actually make it international, because now you're taking, you're having really qualified teachers teaching subjects in which I was talking to Adrian earlier. I had triplet daughters many, many years ago. And because I had triplets, we were trying to get some of our family to get historical names. And I started researching my family, and I had no idea that my family came from Korea, and they moved to China, and they moved to India, they moved to Kabul, they moved to marry into Iranian, Armenian families, you know, you name it like that. And this is very common. And as we look at the commonality of this, we can kind of see that Armenia is in the center of the world. And many of us that live in the Western Hemisphere, our relatives came through that. And if you're like Mary's family that originally were from China that went to Taiwan, some of their families may have actually migrated, not her family, but some of her cousins may have migrated too. And we could actually see, we're just studying really the history of the people. So this is something that can bring people together, is very exciting. And thanks to Dr. Zorian and others here, I think this is something, it should have been done probably 10 years ago, but we'd be glad to do it now. Am I I don't know. It's kind of hard. I think, Marina, at this point, you suggested, or maybe it was Irpine suggested that, do you have any questions for Marina or Dr. Zorian? Mary, do you have a question? I know you said some of your kids might be hesitant, but I know your kids pretty well, and I realize that, you know, you have a lot of very high achieving people. So it's not a situation. They just want to make sure that they can be successful. And I can tell you that this program is geared to actual learning. It's not really a gotcha type of program at all. I know in history, you pretty much know the history by the time you're done.
Yes, I would like to ask now on behalf of my students if there are some requirements, I mean the qualifications, before I can do some screening. So for example, we would want them, of course, we want them to be committed to the learning. And so probably an approximate number of hours per week, actually suggested number of hours that they put in, and also the amount of time they should spend on the classes, and also maybe their language ability, you know, an average level, so that they will be able to understand the courses and things like that. And also some other requirements, like they should be able to collaborate with other students around the world, things like that. So basic requirements and also qualifications. Thank you.
Dr.
Sure.
Zorian.
Go ahead, man. Actually.
No, I wanted to say that you were on mute. It's okay.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
So in terms of number of hours per week, and we give these courses in two different modes of operation. One is a student without a physical classroom, totally virtual, part of a virtual class. Another one is a hybrid mode where students come together in a classroom, but the course material, that is the explanations, the exercises, the maps, and everything is in electronic mode, in online mode, right? I don't recall, were you planning to do it in a hybrid mode or individual students becoming part of a virtual classroom? Mike, can you remind me?
we were going to try to do basically virtual, except we were going to try to have a monthly type of meeting with everybody. So I guess it would be a hybrid of a hybrid. You know,
Yes.
I don't know if you would say something to that effect.
Yes.
We want to have a model be something on that neighborhood.
In between. Okay, that's perfect. So, so typically what we do is we have one lesson per week that opens up for the classroom. And let's say all your students are one large classroom from different schools. All of them will receive every Monday a new lesson. And throughout that week, they have to go through that lesson, do a small exercise at the end. And they will not need to be together unless once a month, as Mike mentioned, when we will do this common session. During that time, during that weekly period, we expect them to, or on the average, they would require about 4 hours per week for that course. We offer the course in multiple languages, the same course. So in this case, because you'll come together at the end, have a monthly meeting, or maybe every 2 weeks. Since those meetings are in English, maybe doing the courses only in English would make sense. However, if you have some audience that likes to do it in Spanish or in French or in Russian, so we do have 7 languages today, that the same lesson, that weekly lesson, can be opened in that language. Maybe we can have the English and the second one to be open to them. They can choose what that second one could be. But for instance, when we're speaking about Guatemala a bit earlier, perhaps it's easier for the student to do it in Spanish. But when you come back for your common sessions, then you have to have a common language, of course, right? So from time requirements, from these students, other requirements are such that they need to have, of course, online connection. It's easy to use, so there's no major difficulty. But during the first week of a course, typically we do it for orientation purposes, to teach how to use things and so on. So there'll be a technical orientation, also the course requirements, what we expect them to do. Usually in our courses, we do have midterms, finals, projects. So that's something that you can instate or not. So it's up to you, depending on the age of the students. If you like to have them also have a project by themselves, individually, or a group project. In some cases we do. They do group projects, then present it to each other and so on. So there are, we can play it in various ways. If we'll have a dedicated classroom, a virtual classroom to all your students around the world, that starts at the same time, ends at the same time, we can have in it those synchronized sessions and the asynchronous periods for each student to do something by himself or herself. A question. How long a period would you expect this to cover? Mike, as you remember, we do quarterly basis courses, right? It's 9 weeks per quarter, 9 weeks per quarter. So during one academic year, for instance, they could have 2 or 3 of them, or we can change the scheduling as well if needed. So what kind of time window you look at?
Well, we're basically on we're not on quarter systems here. We're on semester systems, but Nadia and them will work on a little bit different because they go to school like calendar year almost. Yeah. And we have some people that go to school like we do, and then Mary's is starting up. So we're going to have to try to find something that kind of fits in the middle that would continue to run. Like during the summer, they could still take classes when we're on summer break, but that's in other people's regular time, or when they're on the winter summer break, our winter, their summer, they can still take classes. But I think the easiest one, if we could do something close to 8 or 9 weeks setups, that would probably be the easiest to do and the most flexible for everyone. What do you think, Mary? I think if you could try to get something to that 8 or 9 week area, don't you think?
Yes, I think that your suggestion is wonderful. And the 9 week sounds perfect, like the 9 week, because that it's about the time that we can get, the condensed amount of concentration from students. And also we would not be wearing them out by dragging them out too long, because teenagers nowadays get, I don't know, their attention span isn't as long as we would expect them to be like a decade ago. And so my other question is, are we limited? Are we talking about limited to high school students? Are we allowing also like freshmen, the ones who just graduated, because they also look very eager
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like
And
they're
parents.
Yeah.
And you can get parents too. I mean, the neat thing about this is you're never too young to learn, or put this way, or never too old to learn. And it's really kind of neat. You can get parents involved, because Mary is really kind of interesting. We've had 60, 70 of her students doing Zoom projects and stuff with us, and she'll have 30 parents. So, if you can get that kind of a parent involvement, and get the parents involved with the kids, and then again to learn stuff like this is really, I know I can see how happy it made Dr. Zorian, but it really does make, that's what we really need to do, is more stuff like this. It involve the whole family involved.
Yeah, that would be good, especially for younger kids, because this will need some discipline, since you're not meeting on a weekly basis, face to face. You'll be doing it every few weeks. Then you want the kids to do their portion of that course every week. So you need some discipline. So if the parents are involved, that brings a little bit more structure to what they were doing at home.
And then the way the lessons are set up is that you normally have a test after each, or quiz after each lesson. So you configure a quiz a week. The lessons would be broken up, and then a quiz on Friday or whatever the end of the day of the week is. So you could do that. And then when we have our meetings, we can do it in English and Spanish, Nadia, because I have plenty of kids that can do it in Spanish. But you can just take the course in Spanish, so that's not a problem. Or you could do English, whichever you prefer. Or if you have a mixture of kids there, that'd be great.
And the courses are multimedia, so some kids would like to read electronically, some kids would prefer to listen to it. So there's the audio, so every section, every paragraph has an audio to go with, and so on. So it's very nice if they prefer to go to audio, they see the maps moving and so on. So it is multiple media combined together in order to make it more appealing.
And one thing, Dr. Zorian, I know Mary's English is a foreign language teacher, but you actually can learn English by doing this as well. By teaching Armenian history through English, you are learning English as well. So it could be used in your classroom, and it could be several different things. So you could get college credit, you could get English credit. You could be doing quite a few good things at the same time. Helping the parents may learn English as well. Yeah.
So if you want, we can provide the same course in both languages. So you can have one in Spanish, one in English. So there'll be page-to-page equivalence. So whatever you're reading in English, then if you want to listen to it in Spanish, you turn it the other one, and then you do it in Spanish as well. So if that helps, you can have both ways.
What do you think, Nadia?
In our case, we're gonna stick to English, since
Okay.
yeah, we have to keep the English level, and we have some hours that we need to work on English. But I do think that it's a really good way of teaching English. We already did the first week, and we listened to it, and then I told them, okay, this is going to be a listening comprehension. Now we're going to answer the questions. We took a look at the maps and everything that you said. That's great. I just have a question. because we started last week and we just chose, like, for our class, we chose a random, because we have different topics, right? So we chose modern history. Is that okay? Are we all gonna do the same one, or?
You have to agree. You have to agree on which one to
Yeah.
go with, so that.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is, Nadia, is to sign up for that first Armenian history one. I think you're in that Martin Topics one, which is really good too. I'd use that in the classroom, but if we could do that for the credit part, Dr. Zorian will tell you a little bit different. That might be a really good general deal, but let's all start out with the
first one.
the first Armenian history
Ancient
one.
history.
Yeah, ancient
Okay,
history,
perfect.
and then we'll go that route.
Okay, in the case that we are already enrolled in the other one, can we enroll in that one too?
You
Oh,
can.
Yeah, okay.
These
Another
guys are really
question,
nice.
is there another way, like, is there another way for us to enroll the groups, or do we have to continue doing them like individually? Because I have some students, some of them are not coming here. It's been very difficult to help them, and they say, I didn't get the message, I didn't get the mail, or I don't know how to log back in. Is there a way that we can, like,
Usually for the first week, there are ways. Usually for the first week, I was saying earlier, we do an orientation lesson for them to come together, to hear, to listen, to try the how to operate it. Because just to let them do it by themselves, sometimes kids are good. Sometimes they find their own way. Sometimes they have difficulties. So to make it simpler, it's better to have an orientation session. To show them how to do the various buttons, various exercises, and so on, and to walk them through the course timeline. You'll be doing this every Monday, every Friday. Then we'll come together to visit a museum. Then we'll come together to do some projects. So it will be nice to have a map for the entire time. That's why they have something to predict. Also, they'll be excited that they'll be meeting students from other schools as well. You may have done that for other courses, perhaps, in the past, but usually when we found that in our program, when we bring a couple of schools together from different parts of the world and so on, they see the same age kids in different places, it gives them extra excitement. So you're crossing boundaries, seeing people like you elsewhere. So that's a good thing as well. But and I recommend to have an orientation first for them to learn what to do, and then the rest would flow easy.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hey, Nadia, how many people do you have taking your classes now?
I have, well, the ones that are going to enroll in the Armenian project are 17 students.
That's
Those are my ninth graders.
Okay.
ninth
And
grade.
what have they said so far? This might help Mary out a little bit. How did you pick those people, and what did they say?
Well,
What
I
have they
just
said
got
so
my ninth graders. That's my whole ninth grade class. And I told them, I showed them the whole project, and I said, guys, what do you guys want to work on? And they wanted to learn about Armenia. So we enrolled there. And well, basically that's it. We started last week. So we're kind of just discovering all the technical things of the course. So we took a look, all of us together took a look at the first week, and we listened, we saw, we read. And yeah, it looks very nice. The only thing is that we've had trouble with some of the kids enrolling.
right?
For some of them it was really easy, but for some of them it wasn't. And then there's some of them that are they always say that they can't do stuff, so that they don't have to do all the work. But we're there.
Well, I mean, that's good. So you say it was pretty positive after your first week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a quick question. Are your kids all doing this from their individual homes, or are you at a present site together?
No, they're at home. We have only one student from that, because it's optional to come, and we have one student out of the 17 students coming, and he doesn't come every day. So most of the time they're at home on their own.
So
But
you're
we work it in
instructing them.
class.
Wow. So you're
Doing it in
instructing
class.
them through video conferencing?
Yes, exactly. We're working on it together the first weeks, and then I'm going to start letting them go so that they can do it on their own. Still in class, right? In my class periods.
Yes. So besides the history course, the main content that you have here, for other schools elsewhere in the world, what we do is we also provide some we call it virtual experiences. Virtual experiences are different visits to museums or some celebrations in Armenia and so. So to give a little bit wider than just history, to give them real life stuff. We visit a history museum, for instance, or a manuscript museum. Marina, you can give us some examples of what we do. And if you're interested, we can implant some of those for your synchronized sessions. When you come together, we can do some programs like this, virtual experiences being broadcasted from Armenia live. You can ask questions, interact with them. The time zone issue, we have to resolve it because you're in different parts of the world, but we can find a good solution. Once we know where are the schools, then we can find out either one session or two sessions, perhaps. Make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Marina, can you tell us some examples of what we can do? And then you have a choice to select what could interest more your students.
What we usually do is a historical culture, and also we have some kind of master classes meetings with our students. We provide, for example, we take them for the virtual tour, visiting museums or some historical places. We tell them, provide the content, tell them about this or that place. In the museum, we usually have someone who is in charge, like a guide, or maybe even the director of the museum, telling kids or students, adults, about the artist, about this or that poet, whoever, whose museum we are visiting. We are also, recently we've been in Matenadaran, the biggest repository of the ancient manuscripts, and we introduced our students different books stored there, also like travel throughout the centuries, telling about the whole history, and many other type of events. For example, famous composers, we tell them about their life. We are visiting their house museums, also show the concerts, live events. We have guest speakers. Very often we also have master classes. For example, we are doing pottery together, cooking together, which is a fun part, right? And students, young students, like these events very much. So we, along with cooking, we tell them the history of Armenian cuisine, the traditional dishes, tell them about the variety of our dishes, the old ones that were lost, and we are trying to revive them. We are doing carpeting together, visiting very famous factories, and they give us the master class, and we try to tell our participant students the difference between different carpets and the ornaments, decorations. So I can share the list of the different events that we offer, because if I tell about all of them, that it will take us ages, because we have numerous of different events, and the most successful ones are the ones where you provide students the opportunity to interact. Also, they like to do themselves something. Usually we have a very interactive events where students can also do something, tell us, or share their own experience, or learn from us. As I have suggested earlier, maybe we can have some platform, a joint place where we can share our ideas, post our information, where we can learn from each other, and also share our experience, if you if you don't mind, of course.
Oh,
so yeah. I can post there a lot of different descriptions of events and also projects. We have many projects apart from these virtual tours and virtual experience, like master classes. We have different projects, very interesting ones, and I think you will definitely like them.
Yeah, I think that would be really good, especially if we could do something virtually when we got together for that once a month meeting. That would be really kind of an enrichment exercise. And then that would share amongst all the people and get everybody involved a lot more than just taking the classes themselves. So this becomes a real world platform now. I think this ends up truly putting a capital I in international. This is nice. Mary, you have any more questions? Anything else to say?
No, actually, totally agree with what all you've just said. And yes, I'm thinking that the once a month convention would be a highlight of the students, convening and sharing what they've learned and encouraging one another so that they know that all things that I have encountered, you're encountering that too. Okay, you're encountering those same things too. And this is how we can work together to solve the problems and then help each other. And I'm thinking maybe they could even have international collaborations, because sometimes they don't have only just work with their own classmates that are actually in the same class, but also work with other schools, classmates from other schools.
Yeah, and Mary and I've been doing a food for thought for I've been doing the last 20 something years. And we do cooking and stuff like that. So if we got some recipes from Armenia, and then and you have different people cook, it's kind of interesting, because I know, like when we cook stuff here, I used to be very active in the Armenian community, and once a quarter we would have a meeting, and they would cook Armenian dishes. And Armenian dishes are really, really good. I hate to tell you this, but I mean, they're very nice. But we had a rice deal once several years ago, and we had rice, and Mary had rice, and then we had some people from India had rice, and people from Iran had rice, and people from, and then finally when they got to Brazil, and they had some rice. But we had almost every continent that had rice, and it's really kind of fascinating to see you take one subject, but you can look at so many different ways. And I think the same would be the same with some of the food, because a lot of times people don't realize that a lot of food traveled the Silk Road that ends up a little bit different in each area. And I know Iranian food and Armenian food are very similar, and I'm very active in a group from Lebanon, and Lebanese food and Armenian food are very similar as well. So I really do appreciate this today. I think that the way I'm hearing it is that we're coming a lot closer. So what do we need to do now, Dr. Zorian, so we could get this all effective? We got Nadia over there already ahead of us, because her school's starting. My school's starting in 2 weeks. Mary's school's starting right away. How can we make this so by September all this is working?
Yes. If you want to make it really synchronized, wait for each other, then you have to wait for the last one to start too. Meanwhile, we can give an orientation session. So per school, we can do an orientation session, or we can do an orientation session for all of them together. You would decide. Once you have the list of schools, maybe the best thing is to look at the time zones to see what is the common time zone, either one or two of them. And then we can AVC with your students and teachers, we can do some orientation session to explain what the course will be. And the course will be the ancient history. And then we can decide when is the first week, when is the ninth week. So that you will help us decide that. So that all depends on you, when is the time window, the first week to the ninth week, so that we can go in a synchronized way.
Okay.
So that needs to come from you. Also the list of schools, of course, and how many students per school. So you can provide us a list. We can do two ways. One is, if you give us the list of students, we can enroll them and give you their access, username, passwords, or they can individually enroll and say that they belong to this school. We enable them. Okay.
Okay. I think we can get all that to you in the next week or so. I just feel sorry because Nadia's a little bit ahead of us, because she's they're in school. But I would like to have something by the end of September that we could have our joint meetings and stuff. Mary, do you want us to try to have a meeting before your sometime that first week of September or so, or no?
First or second week of September, I think would work, because I was just thinking maybe we can have a lot of students, look at the orientation program if possible, and then they can decide, like, oh yeah, I can take on this. I mean, yeah. So maybe, I don't know, 20 something students take a look, and then maybe 10 enroll. Would that work?
Yeah, it works. It works.
Yeah.
So the orientation will be more like an introduction session to the
Yeah.
content as well.
And
So it's not
it's
after the
also kind of-
commitment, it's prior to commitment. Okay.
Yeah, inspiring, and also a kind of promotion so that they will go out and tell more people that we have this program, and maybe they can enroll in the next session. I don't know, after the 9 week, the other 9 week. Yeah, the next
Yes,
9
yes,
weeks.
the following. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't have any trouble, but if we want Dr. Zorian to come on, he's in California. So remember, California time is a lot different than everybody else's time. You know,
That's okay.
okay. So I know Mary, their students will stay very late after school. What's a
We can work
possibility?
very late or either very early.
Okay.
So that would accommodate to California time, because we also worked with a college in California before, and we did it either early hours in Taiwan, like 6 a.m. in
Yes.
Taiwan, or 7 a.m. in Taiwan,
Okay.
or then we do it later hours. Oh, no, afternoon. Our afternoon hours would work for you too, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not mistaken.
How about you, Nadia? What's the best time for you?
Yeah, it will be something around that. We start school at 8 a.m. GMT -6 would be like, let's see, 3 hours ago,
Okay.
2 hours ago, sorry, up to 4 p.m.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
your time. We're very, very late at Taiwan.
Yeah, I forget we're on a fast time because we're on daylight savings. So we're normally on the same time 6 months out of the year. We're just on fast time now.
I just wanted to say I went ahead because we finished the school year in October.
Right.
So we're gonna have a couple of weeks right now, and I'm gonna offer the students for them to work on their vacations. But most of them, they travel at this on these vacations, and most of them are going to the States to get their vaccines. So I don't know if they're gonna be able to work on it during November and December.
Right. And then when do you start back again?
January.
January. Okay. So you need to sign up right away so you can finish yours up, and I'll try to help you out as much as I can. And we'll try to get our kids involved, but then the Mary's deal and the other people will try to start in September, but it wouldn't do us any good to start Nadia's bunch in September because they'll be leaving real quickly at the end of their school year.
Could we set up the orientation session for my students?
We can do that. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
We can do that one for you during this week, right?
Perfect.
Marina, if you can manage with Arpine to have an orientation session this week so that they can go ahead full force, right?
Yes, Nadia, do we have your email?
Yes,
you
I'll
have
send
your
it here.
registration?
I have another question. Would it be possible to get more students to listen to the orientation? Because I'm thinking of having a very large group in early September. Would it be possible? I don't know if that would be any violation to your program.
No. It's perfect. There's no issue.
Good,
There's
great,
no
great,
issue.
great.
Yeah, it's
And,
a Zoom call. It's a Zoom call. I'm assuming they'll be physically together or they'll be individually logging in.
Well, this is the situation of pandemic in Taiwan is,
Still going on.
We're not sure right now. We hope to be physically together, but right now we're still online for we have summer enrichment courses, what I'm teaching right now, the school mandatory summer classes, and we're still doing online. And hopefully we'll be back together in September. And so in September, I'm going to have a large group convening, mostly targeting the 10th graders, because the 10th graders are the first year students in Taiwan. We have 10th, 11th, 12th grade for high school. And so we will have a large group, either virtual or at one site in Taiwan. But either way, we're going to do this. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Very good. Sure. Yeah, we can do it first week of September. Yeah, no problem.
Would it be possible if it's on a Saturday?
That's Marina with Saturday is okay?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, it's Saturday, or maybe it's your Friday evening. I don't know. Okay.
We have to
Marina
calculate.
is a little bit after you, yes. So between Taiwan and Armenia, there is 5 or 6 hours.
Ah, okay. Right. Because I'm having the workshop on September 4th, Taiwan time. It's a, a whole day workshop for the students, getting them oriented
Yes.
for all these.
So if it's the afternoon of your Friday, for instance, your Saturday, it will be morning in Armenia. It makes sense.
Okay,
We can calculate the time shift, the time difference. Yeah.
yay. You will have a large audience, a large audience.
Yes, that will be excellent.
Well,
Yeah, we can do some demos. So during the orientation, we'll show some examples and so on.
Great.
yeah, this has been really very interesting. I know we don't want to take up all your time, and I told everybody it'd be about 45 minutes. So are there any more questions or anything? So Nadia is going to have hers this week on orientation. Mimi's going to have hers on September the 4th. I'll get back with you on the other information on the people so we can get everything going. And
Yeah.
then we could have our sessions beginning at the end of September. And Nadia will join us again when we start up in January for the next one. She'll just be a little bit ahead. And then we'll try to get scheduled so we always end in October instead of that way we can take care of that. I know Adrian in South Africa, they're on that calendar year, so that they end up there because they're going on summer vacation here directly. So everybody's a little bit different, but I appreciate everyone coming today, and thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really excited about it, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot.
Thank you very much. Bye, Mike. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Nice meeting you.
A good one. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.